talk about this and what is the future of the United Kingdom and its place in the European Union with Jane Foley. Jane is with Rabobank and she's the head of the Forex strategy. Jane, a big blow coming into Theresa May. She's been trying hard to put together Brexit that would please everybody, the hardliners, the guys who are going in for a softer Brexit. But unfortunately, her checkers plan has not been able to please anybody, and now it's being followed by a spate of resignations. What do you make of what exactly this holds for Theresa May's future within her government and also Brexit in general?
Well, Theresa May has just been speaking in Parliament, and she has been aiming to try and paper over some of those very obvious cracks within her government. And of course, Dominic Raab is not the only resignation that she's had to deal with today. She's had around about 4 now, or even 5 resignations, about 4 I think so far this morning. It's possible that she may see more. And of course, this comes on the back of speculation that there could be a movement from within her own party to try and oust her. Therefore, the next few days will be really key. Now, Theresa May has suffered a lot of pressure in her job already over the last couple of years, but this weekend really will be quite crucial as to whether or not she can remain in office. And given that environment, given the doubts that are currently in the market that she will be able to pass this deal through Parliament, we've seen sterling come under quite a lot of pressure this morning.
You know, at this point of time, I think Theresa May is staring at a valley in front of her and a well behind her, because while she is naturally, of course, fighting out the opposition, there are a lot of people against her in her own party as well. That's the Tories party. How do you see, do you believe there is perhaps a possibility of Theresa May as well looking at stepping down? Because on the other hand, you have Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party leader, and people have had problems with him as well, whether it's with respect to his anti-Semitism. So how do you see the UK government shape up? And then, of course, I'll come to you on more questions for Brexit as well.
Well, you're quite right about the people are concerned about the anti-Semitism impact of Corbyn, and certainly that has affected his popularity in recent months. So if we look at the opinion polls, the recent opinion polls suggest that despite the huge cracks within the Tory government, despite Theresa May's difficulty at pushing through a Brexit deal, that actually the Tories might still win a general election if there was one held right now. Now, many people have criticised Corbyn, saying under any other leader the Labour government would have a landslide given the big rifts within the Tory party, but that is not the case right now. But even so, the Tories will be very reluctant to allow this to go to a general election. Certainly there is talk that there could be a leadership challenge and that there could be several ministers or ex-ministers putting their names in the hat for that. But right now that is purely speculation. Theresa May no doubt will fight to keep her job, as she has done previously during her tenancy of the Prime Minister's office. But it will be very interesting this weekend to see whether or not she can carry on and hold on to power. So we're looking now, counting the resignations that are coming through and seeing really what the reaction is to her speech in Parliament just a few minutes ago.
All right. Jane, what do you think? Is there going to be perhaps a second referendum on Brexit? Could that be a possibility? And what sort of complexities could that bring along with it?
Well, Theresa May has always denied that a second referendum would be held. But I think if you get to the point where Parliament will not approve the deal that she's announced, and that is a significant probability that it won't be approved by Parliament, then it's probable that the chances of another referendum do become greater. Now, certainly there is a movement in the UK to have a people's vote on the basis that what the people were told back in June 2016, when there was the initial referendum, is very different to the deal that's on the table now, and therefore people should be allowed to choose as to whether or not this was the sort of deal that they wanted to accept. So it is possible that there could be another referendum, but I think if you were to ask the Prime Minister, she would continue to categorically deny that. And of course, as she continues to deny it, then we've got to maintain that the probability of a second referendum is still small, although possibly rising.
Well, yes, the Prime Minister certainly would be denying a second referendum, but the fact is that even though she thought that maybe agreeing on a draft Brexit plan with the EU would have calmed nerves, it's done just the opposite. And I think for Brits as well, they may be finding that the decision they took 2 years ago has raised more questions than it has answered. But Jane, thanks so much for joining in.